everyone, welcome back. I'm Kimberly from Dirt Floor Fibers and we are continuing with market prep. So I had to put a pause on my extra large chunky yarn while I wait for my next stuff to come in the mail. So hopefully that'll be done soon. And then I've also been working my way through my Big Twist Posh challenge, which I'm making great headway on that, but there's a lot of yarn in those skeins, so it's taking me some time and I'm getting bored and I want to do something a little different. So today's market prep is going to be some crochet chickens. Now I have a crochet chicken pattern that I really like, and if I were smart, I would have grabbed some examples of it. Hang on, let me see what I can find. All right, so that took a little bit of hunting, but I found him or her. He's not quite finished yet. But the things that I really like about this pattern are the fact that it has a little bit of shaping. So it's got like the little tail feathers on the back, and the fact that it has a little bit of a head. Obviously, I haven't put the comb or the beak on yet. So he's still a work in progress. But what I don't like about this one is that you can't see it so much in real life, but it shows up really badly on the camera. Like the way it stuffs. Like I always get like an extra, like, you can see like the indentation there, like it stuffs weird. I don't know, I can't explain it. And it is fairly large, like head for scale, right? And so they do take a while to do, and they do take up a lot of yarn. So I wanted a smaller version. So I finally broke down and bought the Oak and Marlow Maple chicken pattern, but I think when I make it, I'm going to do some modifications to make a little tail. I'd actually like the tail a little bit bigger than this, but I'm going to do a little tail and then see if I can do a little bit of a head. I haven't decided yet. But those are smaller, and so I think that'll make a nice chicken compromise. So the colors that I have right now that I make them out of, I've got a Bernat focus speckle. This one is the cream speckle, and then I've got the Bernat baby frosting, and this is in the color of Sunday Times. And then I really like the black speckle, which is called Typewriter. I have white, and I have like a kind of a gray taupey kind of color, and I have some almond, I have white, so I've got lots of like chickeny sorts of colors, but I think I want to start with these three guys because they're my favorite. And I saw somebody online who said that they could make 10 of the Oak and Marlow Maple chickens from a skein. At least a skein of this, I didn't compare the yardage, but I'm curious to see how many I can make. I don't think I need whatever 3 times 8 is, but I think I want to make like 3 or 4 chickens, maybe from each color, and then we'll go from there. So let's get chickening. All right, guys, had a little bit of a change of plans, but hello, what's new? So I did end up getting the Oak and Marlow Maple chicken. I forgot what it was called for a second there. But then I remembered that I had actually found another smaller pattern that I had liked on Etsy that had the little bit of shaping, but it wasn't quite as big as that original chicken that I showed you. And so I went back and I found that pattern too and also bought it. So that is the Theodore and Rose Miss Millie chicken. And again, I'll like pop up a little picture so you can see what it looks like, and that's on Etsy. And I really love the way that's turning out. Hang on a second, let me grab a work in progress. Boom, there we go, little chicken. So how cute. It's a little bit smaller, so you can see head size for comparison, but it's still a pretty decent size, and I love, love, love this shaping. Obviously it's not quite finished yet, so what I ended up doing, I got tired of carrying my stuffing around with me as I was working on them, because this is a pretty easily memorizable, whatever, I can remember how to do it from memory, pattern, especially once I've done it a couple of times. And so basically I just worked the chicken and then I left like a big loop and broke it off. You can tell that I'm normally a knitter and not a crocheter because that's totally something that I would do on a knit project to give me like plenty of room to tie off, change colors, make sure it didn't unravel. This is crochet. I could have just pulled it through the loop and left it as a knot, and I would have been able to tell exactly where I needed to start back up with my color. But I didn't do that because I didn't think about that until literally like 30 seconds ago. So whatever, knit and crochet collide. So in one skein of yarn, so you saw in my previous clip how I was starting with 3 full skeins of burlap blanket. 2 of them were speckle and 1 of them was frosting. So for I started with the black speckle that I think it was like typewriter or something. And I got 4 chicken bodies out of it completely done and stuffed. I think I stuffed those. Those are at home right now. But then I started on the wings and I was only able to do like 1.5 wings. And then I ran out of yarn from that skein. I do have more of that. I can't remember if I have a full another skein or I'm pretty sure I have like a chicken in progress that I'm gonna pull out and I can use for wings. I'm not 100% sure. So I have to look. The frosting, I know I've got at least a partial skein, if not another full skein. So I went ahead and did 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one's still attached to the ball of yarn. You can see how much I have left on that. But of course, remember, I have not closed up the bottoms of any of these, and then I still need to make their wings. So that'll probably close up my bottoms, and then I'll have to use another skein on their wings. And then I also started working with the cream speckle, which also came out in a really pretty, sorry, the lighting in here is a little wonky, but it came out a really pretty chicken color, right? How cute is that? So I've only done one of those so far, but tonight I'll work on it and do another 2 of them. Because that'll leave, sorry, I got a fuzzy on my nose when I picked it all up. That'll leave me enough to do the wings, I think, if I just do 3 of the chicken bodies. I don't think I have another one of these in my stash. I think I might go and still do a few Marlow chickens just so I have like a larger chicken and a smaller chicken size. Although I'm not entirely sure how big the Marlow ones are. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I've got plenty of yarn to do it, so I'm not really worried about that. All right, so I'm gonna keep working on these, and then once they get all stuffed up and maybe finished, I will show them to you. I was doing so well, and then I just fell off the wagon. It's okay, I have a plan, there's a purpose. All right, so today is the first Sunday of March, which means that I have exactly 1 week until the second Sunday of March, which is when my first market of the season is in Williamsburg. So super excited about that. I'm still kind of working on my yarn challenges. I don't know if the videos for those will be up before or after this one, but look out for those. And I've been making a lot of progress in the plushies that I've been making. Not as many as I would like, and I haven't done any dyeing or spinning. I've just been concentrating on the crochet plushies because I think that's what's going to do the best this March and the first event of April. I did add another event in April, which I'll talk about eventually, but it totally threw off my planning, and now I'm like in a tailspin and in a panic. But it's okay. We're going to make it all work, and it's going to be fine. So on today's agenda, I went to Joann. I needed some green yarn. I could have sworn I had some like sage green blanket yarn, which I think they discontinued sage. So I came to Joann to get big twists. I don't remember the color, but they had a green, like a natural plant kind of green. And I happened to go buy the burnout blanket because they had sales. And I found, I can't even tell you the color. What color did I get? Is it on here? Smoky green. So I don't know if that's a new color, like replacing the sage, or if I just don't know my blanket yarn colors or whatever. But the blanket yarn was on sale for $8.99. And then there was a 25% off your entire purchase coupon. Big Twist was also $6.99, but it was a doorbuster, so you couldn't use a coupon. But anyways, I want to keep consistent with my yarns, so I didn't really want to add Big Twist plush to my closet anyway, just because it doesn't match exactly in size with the burnout blanket, and I didn't want one more brand of yarn I was trying to stock. But I should have taken a picture of my yarn closet because I know I got some doubles in here. The ones I know I got doubles of were on purpose because I've been using them a lot and the projects I'm working on now will need them, and I didn't want to run out before Sunday and have to make another trip out here. So I ended up with 13 new skeins of yarn. They didn't have a bag big enough, so they just went ahead and put it in a trash bag for me. But as I pointed out to the employee, it's not a trash bag until you put trash in it, right? Otherwise, it's just a really big bag. So 13 new skeins of yarn. Concentrating on mermaid colors. So I've been having some fun making mermaids. I'm actually like halfway through my first one. So when I say making mermaids, I mean making mermaid, duh. But I think it's really cute and should do well. So for my 13 skeins of yarn, including tax, I paid $92.95. So pretty happy with that. I didn't do the math on it. I'll see if I can pop up here how much I ended up paying for each. Oh, actually, it's on the receipt. I can read the receipt. So each skein, regular $11.99, came out to $6.74. So can't say no to that. And now I have enough yarn to definitely get me through the big festival in April. So yeah, we're gonna go get lunch at McAllister's. Never been there before, but I pass by it all the time when I go to this Joann's, and I always say I'm gonna go get something. So today is the day we go get a sandwich for there. So food first, and then back to crocheting. All right, so that was like super stressful. So I ordered online so I could like just eat in my car or whatever. And after I ordered, I clicked the little like link to the GPS, and it was having me like get back on the highway, and I'm like, but I thought this was where I was. And so I ended up looking, and there's only one location like in the city that I'm in, and I'm like, I can see it right there. It should be that one, right? So I went in, and I was a big girl about it, and it was the right location. I have no idea what was up with the GPS, but what I got, oh gosh, I can't even pick it up. I got strawberry lemonade made with cane sugar. It's delicious. I've only had a sip or two, but super good. I got the spicy turkey melt sandwich, no tomato, because focus, come on. You're not so focused. There it goes. Because I'm a baby. I actually they had options with like grilled chicken, and I really wanted one of the grilled chicken like club sandwiches, or sorry for the sleeve shot. I need a napkin after picking that up. Or there's another like Chipotle chicken grilled something, I don't know. I wanted that, but the online said it wasn't available, but when I went in, it was totally on the menu, and there was no signs of like, hey, we're out of grilled chicken. So whatever. And then I also got the macaroni and cheese as my side, because macaroni and cheese is delicious, and I always, if a place has mac and cheese, I always try it when I go. And it's pretty good. It's like a Stouffer's macaroni and cheese, so I don't know if I would like come here for the mac and cheese. I mean, not bad. And the best part, you get a pickle. So I'm gonna sit here and eat, and then we're gonna go home and make some more mermaids. All right, guys, so we are on the road again. I'm so sorry if you're bouncy or you fall off. But it has been a morning. It's like 10 o'clock right now. So we are at crunch time. So today is Saturday. Tomorrow is second Sunday. And we have a lot to do today. Now I'm going to go get more hay, because my hay place is closed on Sunday and Monday. And so I've only got like 2 days left of hay. I think we get through Monday. I think we'll be okay through Monday. But we need more hay. So I'm gonna go get a couple more bales, but then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with them when I get home, and hope I can store them somewhere they're not gonna get wet, because I have to clean out my car to get ready for second Sunday. So I've got a whole, oh my gosh, excuse me. I've got a whole list of things that I need to do at home, but we'll go over that once we actually get there. So yay for hay. All right, it is 11:50. Hay has been acquired. I actually got a different hay than usual. We'll see how the sheep like this one. We'll see. Yeah, but I've also acquired chicken, and so I'll sit here and eat my lunch, and then we'll head right back home and get started on market prep. All right, guys, we are back home from our hay adventure this morning. It's 1:50 and nothing has gotten done on a day before market, so I'm trying to breathe through it and not panic too much. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go through and take an inventory of the plushies that I have 100% finished and ready to go. I'll show you what I have so far. A lot of this actually came out of the store where I had a little display. I haven't had any sales there in like 3 months, and it's partially because like nobody goes in the store and the stuff, anyways, it's chaos, but it's a lovely little place, but it's just not right for my stuff. So I went and took all my stuff out, and it'll be going with me to market tomorrow. So here's what I have. I have 4 of these little ice cream cones. And honestly, I don't know if I told you this when I showed you them originally. I almost didn't bother with the cherries. I'm like, you know, they're cute and whatever, but like, do they need the cherries? And the answer was yes. It made such a big difference. They are so cute. This one's my favorite. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So I have 4 of those guys ready to go. I need a bag. I love these giant Hefty bags, by the way. They're a Hefty brand, but they're, I think it's like Ziploc storage, extra large. It's a 20-gallon one. Anyway, so I got some of these to put plushies in because they're clear, but they're protective. And I feel like they fit in the car a lot better than trying to put it in a hard plastic tub. So the downside of the hard plastic tubs is that if you sell things, the tub still takes up the same amount of room in the car, whereas this can condense down nice. So, got those. I have one Nessie who still needs a price tag. Apparently he's been sitting in the store with no price on him, so that's him. I have 2 little seahorses. These are the first ones that I did, so they're not 100% perfect, but they're close enough and I really like them. So, I have my seahorses. I think these are the Palm and Posies one, I'm not sure. Then I have these little, oops, I have 3 of these little mandrake guys. 1, 2, oops, and 3. And I was messing around with their eye placement because the pattern has the eyes, which one's different? So like which one of these is not like the other? So the eye placement is like right at the level of the arms, and I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. So I did one with an extra round in it, and so he's a little bit taller. I don't know which one I like better. The taller one looks like a potato a little bit, but those are my 3 mandrakes. Anyways, I have 2 of my little frog friends. I love those. I love these better than like the leggy frogs that everyone does. I don't know, I just like their shaping better, so super cute. So I have these little multicolored ones, which are super cute. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the small multicolored ones. Okay, and then I have some velvet yarn ones, and these ones I'm actually going to take the tags off of because I'm going to put them in just like a $5 bin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So just 1 color each of all of my favorite velvet yarns that I have. I have these 2 little one-off octopi that were not my favorites. Probably won't make more of them, but they're cute. And then I have the Palms and Posies Flapjack in the smallest size. I've got, oh, focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the little ones. And then if you guys remember from my other video where I was using up my my Hobby Lobby stash, I made a mistake and made the jumbo ones by accident as well, or the large size one. So I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. I love this color of these guys as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. And so that's everything I have ready at this exact moment. No, I have another stash. Hang on a sec. Okay, so it turns out I had a couple more things in my stash of unfinished projects, but he's all done. So I've got a piggy. How cute is that? So when I first made this, I did not like him. His nostrils are a little uneven. It's not as bad as I remember it. And I thought his tail was massively uneven, but now that I look at it again, I think it is okay. So, pig butt. Anyway, so I have my pig, and then I have this whale. And I really like him too, especially with his little spout on top. The pattern was really hard to follow though, and so the tail came out a little bit wonky. Like, he's still cute, but I'm gonna try a different whale pattern in the same type of yarn because super cute. That's all my finished stuff. Next, I'm gonna gather all of my whips. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Guys, seriously, number one, it's still like monsooning outside, so I can't properly clean out the car or pack the car. It's 2:50. That took a really long time for me to pull out all my whips. And then it's also made me realize that I'm missing a bunch of stuff. I ordered a ton new safety eyes, like hundreds of safety eyes. No idea where they are. And the one that's killing me is I could have sworn that I got a glue gun the other day. Like, pretty darn sure, because I remember standing in front of the shelf debating with myself for way too long over which one I was gonna get, and I can't find it. So I don't know if I was like, nope, never mind, I don't need it, and walked away, or if it's somewhere. I did find something I was missing, and I did find. What did I find? Oh, the other thing I was missing was I got some cotton yarn for eyes in blush, which usually I used to use safety eyes, or I'll use like a cotton crochet thread and I'll double it up. But I decided I wanted some like actual cotton yarn. It was like a DK weight, I think I got. I can show you later when I go to do my finishing stuff. But I couldn't find that either. That I did manage to put my hands on. Glue gun was not in the bag with it though. So I have to go to the store and get a glue gun. The other thing that I realized is I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow/tonight is daylight savings, which means that not only do I have a ton of stuff to do, I'm not going to bed tonight. I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow, guys. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. So not only do I have so much stuff to do, but I'll have an hour less to do it in because we're gonna spring forward. Alright guys, so I am trying to go fast. As you can see, it's getting dark outside and Moose is starting to lose his mind because he can see me through the window and he knows I'm home. So I've got to go really fast so I can get out and go get him and bring him in the house. But while we're here, I think our next step in the market prep kind of saga, I'm so tired. I'm going to be up all night, guys. Like, this is going to be an all-nighter. There's not enough caffeine in the world. It's fine, we're gonna get there. So the first thing I'm working on, now that I have my hot glue gun and I found my smile yarn and my eyeball yarn, we're gonna go ahead and put some eyeballs and smiles on items first. So I've got like some turtles that need a smile, but they also need their shell too. I've got some more of these frogs. I really wanna make a few more of these guys if I have time at some point tonight. But maybe in a slightly different color green. I brought 4 of these to my last market and they were gone within the hour. So smiles for these guys. I've got 3 of these cute little whales. These are the All From Jade pattern. There's like a bundle that has 3 different sizes of whale, shark, and orca. So that's these. These are the smallest ones. And then I think this is the biggest one. I just have one of those so far, but he's also super cute, so I want to make some more of those. But I'm gonna give him eyes first. Then I've got some little toads as well that need some smiles and eyeballs. I've got 3 of those guys. And I think Focus. I think that's where I'm gonna start first. All right, let's knock these guys out. Good morning, guys. It is about 7:15. I was supposed to leave 15 minutes ago and I'm still not totally ready, but I'm gonna go and finish up in the house and then be right back. You can see my car all packed and ready to go. I think this is the emptiest my car has ever been for a market, but we'll go ahead and talk about that when we are on our way. So be back in a minute. All right, guys, we are on the road, running a little bit late, but we will get there in the end. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. So I apologize in advance. In my head, this was going to be a really like uplifting, like motivational, you know, here's how to market prep. Look at my fabulous day. It's first market of the season. It's going to be fabulous. It's a mess. Everything's a mess. My hair is a mess. It looks okay right now. It's kind of tucked into my sweatshirt. I'll definitely have to fix that later after I'm done setting up. I was sweating so badly after this morning that I like took my jacket off that you saw earlier. It's in the back. You know what? Even though this is terrible, everything stinks, sometimes life is that way. Not everything works out perfectly, and all you can do is put on your favorite, comfiest, most beaten-in sweatshirt, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and just get her done the best you can. So that is today. Today is going to be surviving. So, what happened last night after I got off with you? We had a big storm roll through, and my power was going on and off. And so the only good thing I had to eat in my house were bagel bites. The bagel bites take some time. And I was worried that if I put bagel bites in, halfway through the cook cycle, the power would go out. That would be just my luck because everything sneaking goes wrong. So I was like, I'm gonna go get a salad. So I got a salad. And by the time I got home, I was exhausted. Like, I was non-functional. And so I was like, you know what? Rather than pull an all-nighter and push through and then be absolutely dead tomorrow, let me go ahead and take a little 4-hour power nap. So I told myself I'm gonna go to bed at 10, and then I'm gonna get up at 2. So my 4-hour nap, I get in bed at 9:55. Everything's going swimmingly so far. At like 10:15, Moose starts barking. Barks, 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 finally stops, starts to go to sleep. About 11:30-ish, Moose starts barking again, and then he stops. And then I'm somebody who has to set like 300 alarm clocks in order to get back up, especially if I'm really tired. And so at 12:30, my alarm clock goes off. And guess what happens? Moose starts barking. So I hit snooze on that. But that was really optimistic because almost immediately after, like maybe 12:45, I hear Moose pull something off the table. Get out of bed. Take it away from him, yell at him, scold him, give him pets because really what he wants is attention. He's just being anxious. Then I go back to bed. And of course, when I get back to the bedroom, Anya, who sleeps with me, had curled herself up in a little ball with her head dead center of my pillow. Totally taken my spot, the little rat. And so I had to move her out of the way, crawl back into bed. Long story short, I think I probably had to get out of bed maybe 5 times at least between 12:45 and 1:50 because Moose kept getting into stuff. So I got no sleep. And at no point was I like, maybe I should just stay up. I should have. So at 1:50, crawl back into bed for the last time. I'm like, I got 10 minutes. Moose has got to hold it together for 10 minutes. And then I'll get up at 2. You may have spotted my dilemma. Yes, I told you all about this yesterday. I have video proof that I knew this, but I was stupid last night. So 1:50, 10 minutes pass, my alarm goes off, I turn it off, and I look at the time. It's not 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock because it's daylight savings. And so I lost an hour that I didn't anticipate. So I only had 2 hours to work on projects, got like nothing done. And in fact, I'm a little bit mad. I had an axolotl that was completely finished. He just needed his eyeballs and a little smile. And I left him. I didn't finish him. Like, I left him in the pile of whips. He was like tucked under the bottom, so I didn't see him. And so I never finished him. But I could have had him because he was almost done. Sorry about that. Could have had him because he was almost done, but that was a no-go. So I don't have him. But whatever. Then it hits my pack-up time, right? It's 5 o'clock. I should start getting ready and packing up the car. but I was almost finished with the project. So I'm like, I'm just gonna like finish this off, and so I'll have it done. Well, I kept working, and it took longer than I planned, of course. And then I realized that I had miscounted, and I needed 2 more pieces for something. So I made those 2 pieces. By that point, it's almost 6. Yeah, it was like 5:50, 5:45 at that point. So I run and I go get ready and get the dogs ready and feed the bottle lamps and start packing the car. And I realize, is this the right place? This is the right place. Realize that everything's a mess. I cannot find any of my market stuff where it's supposed to be. It's been raining so much that my garage has flooded. So like all my stuff is damp and wet. Fortunately, none of my product is out there. It's just like display stuff. But it's still really obnoxious. And according to the Weather Channel, we should be expecting 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Well, I went to grab my tent weights, which are like sandbags, and they had somehow gotten on the bottom of the stack and were basically sitting in a puddle of water. So they were sopping wet. They smelled disgusting. A bag of corn had like broken over on top of it, and so either something got into it, which is a big possibility, or just it tipped over or whatever. And so the sandbag was wet, stinky, and covered in like wet corn, I guess it was. Yeah, it was corn. Alright, so it was covered in wet corn, and I was not going to put that in my car. I was not going to pull that out and have it weighing down my tent, but it's supposed to be windy. It's not windy right now. It's supposed to be windy later. And so, what am I going to do? Well, I've gone online. The Williamsburg Home Depot has some of the tent weights that aren't very heavy. So I'm gonna go pick up as many of those as I can find, and we'll use those, and we'll just pray. We'll just pray. Give me a second. Hi, can I get a venti iced vanilla latte, please?
Yeah, absolutely. A venti iced vanilla latte. What else can I get for you?
That'll be it.
All right, now that's going to be 701.
Thank you. All right, I don't actually have time for coffee, but after last night, we need the coffee. So after I get my coffee, I'm gonna go to Home Depot and pick up the tent weights, so we'll see that. And then I'm running late because I need to, did I already tell you about the office? I should go into the office this morning because I've got some work to do, but I really like to get to my location and throw all my stuff on the sidewalk by like 8:30. I actually had the chance to get into a better location this month because not everybody's back for the season yet, but I decided that I just like being consistent, and I also kind of like the ease of being able to, there's like parallel parking and there's space to put my stuff, and so I like to get there at 8:30, unload my car, and then go park, and then by the time I get back to my spot, it's usually 9. Like on the dot, and I can put my tent up. And I like to get my tent up first because doing it with one person, it's hard to like joggle it in place without hitting the people on either side of you. So yeah, so we're gonna try to do that. I might have to not go into the office though, because it's already 8:13 and I'm in line for the coffee, and I still have to go get tent weights. Yeah, I got some new displays, so we'll see what those look like. But like no stock, guys. Like I was hoping. So what my plan was, obviously I was not going to work my way through my entire stash like the original plan, but in the back of my head I was thinking minimum today $350. That tends to be the low end of what I make here, so $350 is like my low end goal. It would have been really nice to do like been really prepared and had done like 1,000, 1,200. That never happens, but that's like you gotta aim high, right? And so in the back of my head, my goal was to have at least $2,000 worth of stock just in plushies. And then I have like a little bit of yarn, but I'm kind of saving that up because I have all the fiber festivals coming up soon. So I didn't like restock that. That's just from last year. I added up my plushies that I made last night, and I was up to 570 something. I'm hoping to make a few more to hit me over the 600 mark. That's definitely not as much as I expected. So we'll set up, we'll see what happens. Learning curve, we'll see. All right, let me pay for my coffee and then I'll see you at Home Depot. All right, so I got my cart We are headed to aisle 48, bay 9, which is fortunately right up front. You know what I want? I want a rug. All right, let's hit up the tent weights first. Okay, oh, they're there. I see them. All right, let's put you down because I'm gonna need 2 hands for these. All right, I grabbed 3. I should probably grab 4 because I don't know if I have all 4 of my other ones in the car, but we're gonna just start here. Oh, we are not getting a rug. It's $139 for those. I honestly already regret not getting 4 sets instead of just the 3, but I really don't want to spend any more money after buying the good set, so pray for me, guys. All right, so update, it took me a grand total of 6 minutes to unload my car. So on the plus side, not having any displays and not having any stock means fast load and unload. Oh yeah. Gotta look for the silver lining. All right, I'm gonna go park and then we'll go set up. Alright guys, we are back in the office again, surrounded by creative chaos. It's fine, it's all fine. We are now on Saturday, so market was last Sunday, so it's been a little bit of time before I could actually sit down, kind of assess everything, and make a market recap video, but here we go. So there were some pluses and some minuses to this last market. We're gonna go through a few things. Let's start with the negatives because I was a negative Nelly when I was in my car on the way to market, and market day did not deserve all that negative attention. It was actually a fairly decent day in hindsight now that I've had a few nights to kind of sleep it off a little bit. But the downsides to the market, I think the biggest one, or one of the biggest ones, was the fact that I did not meet my inventory goal. In the back of my head, I had kind of wanted to have at least $2,000 worth of plushies to bring with me. I ended up, according to my calculations, if they're correct, about $641 worth of plushies, which is nowhere near what my goal was. Because I didn't have as much as planned, I did have to make a few changes to my booth setup, but I'm not going to tell you about that in this section here because it actually ended up being a plus. So we're going to spin it in that direction, right? It'll be fine. I didn't get a chance to film setup of my booth. A couple reasons. Number one, I forgot my tripod. Number two, I'll tell you about in a second, but I do have some clips that I'll be able to put in for you. One of the other really big downsides was it was cold. In the morning, I mean, you saw me in my car wearing my sweatshirt because I packed the car and was sweating, took my jacket off, got to Williamsburg, went to Home Depot, unpacked the car, was still sweating like a pig. So I'm like, I don't need my jacket. Left it in the car. Go set up, everything's fine. And then probably about 20 minutes after the market started, it got so cold. Like the clouds went over the sun, the wind kicked up. I was freezing. Like everybody was freezing cold. The girl with the booth on one side of me, it went back to her car and found a blanket because she didn't bring her jacket. She actually left it at home. It was crazy. The other downside, along with the cold, was the fact that the wind kicked up. Now, if you guys remember from like 30 seconds ago in the video, I was debating about whether or not I should actually go and get those extra weights because I didn't want to spend the money because I had those other ones on the way. Oh my gosh, good thing I did. It was so windy that there were times where like I was just like casually hanging onto my tent to try to not have it fly away. And I was trying to like ring up people. And so like I'd have like people being like, hey, I got your tent for a minute, go ahead. And they would just like grab onto it just for a little extra security. The woman on the other side of me had like laser engraved wood items. So like trivets and cutting boards and signs and all kinds of cute things. Her stuff, the wind just kept catching it and like throwing it off of her tables. Fortunately, yarn and plushies were pretty easy to pick back up. So you would have like this huge gust of wind come down the street. All the vendors would grab onto their tents. All this merchandise would go flying off the tables. All of the shoppers would be like trying to pick up all the stuff from the ground to help the people try and keep their tents from blowing away. It was pretty crazy. So by the time I got home that night, I hurt so bad. So I spend most of my time standing anyways, and I never wear good shoes. So my feet hurt from that. I think I was so tense all day from like shivering and trying to hang on to my tent and keeping everything from blowing away. Yeah, it was just, you could feel it in your muscles. So that was not so much fun. So that was fine. So those were the big downsides of the market, which in the grand scheme of things, really not bad at all. So on the plus side, I did play around with my booth setup, and I liked it. So in the video, I'll try to like maybe insert it or something. I got these new shelves, and I got them off of Amazon, and they're folding shelves. So they're like metal, and they come like a little sandwich. And then all you do is like pop, and they pop open, and like the shelves go down, and there's like one little latch to just like click into place. And then the top shelf swings over, and there's another little latch. They're lightweight, decently sized. I think they're like, I got the bigger ones. It was like maybe like $70 something. Had a couple of dents when it came, but nobody really notices that at a market. Worked out really well. I got 2 of them, and because I didn't have very much stuff, I basically did 4-foot table in the middle of my tent, and then the 2 shelf systems coming out from the side. So it was like just a little bit, kind of push up toward the front of the tent. And on my table, I did have like a couple of mannequins and my hand knit items and samples. It looked really cute. I liked the way it turned out. It gave me plenty of room to like interact with people. I could see the shelves to help people out. I had a place to put kind of my checkout items. So that was really great. I liked that. I actually ended up going back and ordering 2 more of the shelves. Now there's several versions of them on Amazon. I got the ones where the sides have like a lattice work. There are ones where the sides are open and ones where there's like one section that has some barrage, if you will. So you like hang hooks on it or something. I like the one with the lattice hooks just because it gives you a little bit more of a side stopper, if you will, like little bookends so your stuff doesn't fly off the sides of the shelf. And the ones that I had originally ordered were actually out of stock when I went to go order them again. So I got them from a different seller, but I'm pretty sure they're the same shelves. I'm also looking forward to having some more stuff because in my Amazon order, we'll talk more about booth setup like in a future video because I've got a big show coming up and I want to really like go all out for that one. But I also did get like those mesh squares that you make into like a cubby system. And some people I've been seeing like zip tie them so you can fold them flat. And then when you get to your market, you like unfold them and then zip tie the other points. And then when you're ready to go, you just snip the ties that make it collapse. I'm kind of wondering if I could even make it with the permanent, semi-permanent like connector things, the little plastic pieces, and then just slip it into my car flat because I got the smaller cubes. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But kind of my original idea was to have the 6-foot table instead of the 4-foot table and to have that on it. So that would give me more display room as well. So I'm hoping at the next market, I'll be able to test that out, but we'll see. But I liked the basic setup that I had. Only downside when it was windy, things flew off of it, but oops, as I throw my pen across the office, hang on. There we go. But with the wind, it was like 20-mile-an-hour wind. So the fact that things fell off, it would have done that on any display. Other things that were good. Oh, one of the best decisions I made. So I usually do paper bags. I like that they're recyclable, a little bit better for the environment. Who doesn't like a good paper bag? But with the plushies, I was like, I'm going to try plastic bags. And so I got these really cute, clear plastic bags. I'll see if I can link them down below. I got them off Amazon. And they're really nice, like heavy plastic, cutout handles. And they say thank you in kind of a pretty script font on the front. I got a small size, and then I got a slightly larger like shopping tote size. I didn't use any of the larger ones. All of the things I had fit in the smaller ones. But because they were clear, I literally had, I don't even know how many people come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, so I saw somebody walking around with this whatever in a bag, and I had to ask them like where they got it from. I've been looking like all day to try to figure out like where your booth was. Or I've had people be like, oh my gosh, I saw somebody with a dinosaur in their bag. I didn't have a dinosaur, I had Nessie, that doesn't matter. They're like, I saw the dinosaur, do you have any more of those left? I'm like, oh, sorry, sold out of them. So I love the fact that it's like advertisement in and of itself. And I can't tell you how many little kids bought like a little $5 squishy. I was like, would you like a bag for your new friend? And they're like, oh yes. And so you have these little kids with like their little tiny item carrying around their bag. They're just so happy. So I was really pleased with the way those came out. Definitely going to keep those for the next market. It's not as environmentally friendly as the paper bag, but it's free advertising. And the people who really, really, really care about that bring their own bag. So we'll get a test drive and see what happens. I also, in my last Amazon ordered some like reusable tote bags. They're like clear, like stadium sorts of bags, but I got some that were like iridescent-y. I haven't gotten a chance to open them yet. I just saw that they're in the box and then like closed the box back up. But I'm thinking, especially for like the fiber festivals, I could maybe even do it for the other festival, but especially for the fiber festivals, doing like a spend $200 in yarn, get yourself a free tote bag, or, you know, put them out for like $5 each or whatever, $7, I don't know. Whatever that would make a profit but not be like ridiculous, because I had to buy them in like the jumbo pack. So making a little bit of a markup is not going to be that big of a deal on it. So yeah. The bags are awesome. Display was awesome. What else was awesome? Oh, this is actually a downside, guys, but I had to put it in the good section. I brought, I think, again, I'm not entirely sure. I think I brought about 65 plushies with me to market. I brought home 14. I didn't do the math on that. That's easy math. Hang on. So that's 51 items, 51 plushies that I sold. That doesn't even count my yarn that I sold. I didn't sell as much, but I never do. But so I sold 8 skeins of yarn, ranging from $25 to $27. No, I had 2 in there that were like my discontinued bases. That was just like, they're $10, get rid of them, whatever. So I sold some yarn. That's not bad considering I didn't have any new colors, and they were displayed, just kind of like set out on the shelf. So happy with that. But 51 plushies. So my sales for the day were approximately, I was trying to add this up as I went along, but approximately $651 in sales. I then obviously had square fees, I think about 400-ish, just over 400 of that was on Square, and then the rest was in cash. So you can do the math on that because it doesn't really matter to me. But I had some Square fees, and then obviously I collected tax and all of that good stuff that I'll have to send in. So the plus side, I sold lots of plushies. On the downside, I have no plushies left. That's a lie. We'll talk about that in a second too. I don't have very many of my items left. So I'll kind of show you / tell you what I sold. I thought I had gone through and like showed you guys everything I made, but now I'm not sure going back to my videos if I actually did that or not. So we'll do what we can. So, sorry guys. Get organized. So I had 6 of the large flapjacks. So they kind of look like this. Come on, focus. There we go. I came home with 3 of them. So I sold 3 of the big guys, which is interesting because this was actually my favorite color and I didn't sell any of those. So whatever, more for me. Put them back in their bag. Then I have my small flapjacks. I had 6 of those. I have none left. I brought 16 mini octos. Some of them were this fun kind of multi-color, and then the rest were like solid color but velvet yarns. I came home with 3. So I sold, what is that, 13? These didn't make it on my list, but I think I just forgot to write them down. I had 2 kind of like scrap yarn, whatever, octos. And I had 2 of them. I sold 1. I came home with 1. I had 4 of my kind of like leggy frog. They're not the leggy frogs, but they're the frogs that kind of looked like this. If I showed that to you, I had 4 of those. I sold all 4. I had 3 mandrakes. I just sold 1 of them. A little girl called them potatoes, and I was like, I'm not even insulted. They do kind of look like a potato. So those were cute. So I sold just 1 of those. I was a little surprised, but maybe they'll do better at the Daffodil Festival, right? Because like growing things. I don't know. I had my Nessie. It sold. I had 4 ice cream cones, and of those 2 sold. A lot of people really, really liked them, but they were a slightly more expensive item, and so I only sold 2 of them. I think if I had some of the mini ones to sell at a lower price point, I think I would have sold out of them. So I'm definitely going to put the mini ice cream cones on my list. So sold 2 out of 4. And then what was next? I had 2 seahorses, and I sold both of them. And that was kind of funny because I had 1 seahorse left, and a little girl came up. She's like, this is mine. Like, this is my seahorse. And her mom was like, there's only 1. We have to get your sister something. And like the girl was like negotiating with her sister. And so she had picked up like another large one that's about the same size, but a little bit less expensive. And she's like, do you want this one? Or do you want like 2 of these? And so she basically got her mom to buy her sister 2 little items so she could have the big seahorse, which was really cute. So I sold both the seahorses. I sold my pig. I did not sell my whale. He did get a lot of, he's a little fluffy on his head. He did get a lot of attention, especially once people figured out what the little spot was. And I did have somebody who asked me about narwhals. So I'll definitely do some narwhals for the next market, but I still have Mr. Whale. Let's see, what next? I had 3 of like the really little mini whales, sold all 3 of those. I had a small whale, which was the mini whale, but the next size up, sold him. I had 3 little like bright green Ted the Toads, sold all 3 of those. I had 2 mini Ted the Toads in the same yarn that I made the larger kind of flappy leg frogs out of. I sold both of them. I had 1 kind of small turtle that was that test one from 1 Cent Crochet that I wasn't convinced about. I sold him. I sold my large octo. I sold all 4 of the Posh Yarn turtles. I brought 4 bees. I actually finished these guys while I was sitting there because, come on, focus. There we go. They didn't have any wings yet, and so I made their wings and sewed them on while I was sitting there. No, I had made the wings the night before, and then I sewed them on while I was there. I sold 2, and so I have 2 of those left, and that was everything on my list. So yeah, sold lots of stuff. So now the downside is I have to remake everything before my market. On the plus side, I did have lots of things that I didn't finish for this market, so I'm actually like sitting here surrounded by half-made plushies. I've got like 2 merman tails. I've got another mermaid tail. I have a finished mermaid that doesn't have her face or her hair yet. I've got like half a jumbo dragon. This is my axolotl that has no eyes. He was all finished. And I forgot to put his eyes on and throw him in the bag. So I have him. Gonna make some more because I didn't like him when I first made him, and now I think he's really cute. So I'll probably make more of those. I have part of another doll started. I've got a jumbo turtle, 2 jumbo turtles started. I've got a bunch of like unstuffed and partially stuffed but with no face chickens. There's stuff everywhere, guys. I've got some cows that I made that have to be sewn together. Yeah. Yeah, so market was a success. Really enjoyed it. Weather was crazy. And I think the big takeaways from a market like this is even if you think everything's terrible, you haven't done a good job, your display's not quite right, you didn't make as much as you wanted to, you didn't make the things that you wanted to, go into it in front of the customers with a happy face, because I'll tell you, I've had times where like I was pretty like stocked up and it was fine. But for whatever reason, like, I was not having a good day. Like, I'd say the last year at the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival, when we were in the middle of a hurricane, that was not fun. I had plenty of things and my booth was set up all cute and whatever, but I was a crabby pants and I didn't sell like hardly anything. But on a day where I'm like literally holding my tent together and had, you know, less than half of the inventory that I wanted to have and was freezing and was having a terrible day, but I was actually having fun at the market and I was like, you know, talking with people and joking with the kids, and I sold tons of stuff. So if you have a market, don't wait until everything's perfect. And if everything's not perfect, go ahead and do it anyway. It's going to be fine. It's all experience. It's all networking. It'll be worth it. All right. So I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to start filming another video because we've got market prep coming up. We've got 3 weeks until our next market. We actually have 2 markets the same weekend. I'm going to die. It's going to be fine. It's all fine. All right. See you guys later.